Good morning, students. In this lecture of compulsory English of TYBA, we are going to talk about the process of communication skills. In the last lecture, we talked about what is communication, which are the essential components of communication, and in this lecture, we are going to discuss how the process of communication takes place. As mentioned in the last lecture, communication is continuous process, communication is flexible process, communication is two-way process, and communication is interaction between persons. So how this process of communication takes place and how we communicate with one another or each other in our day-to-day life. So what type of process is there? Which are the components of this process? It is important to understand for us in order to know the term, what is communication. So the process of communication consists of these 5 things: ideation, encoding, channel, decoding, and feedback. So these 5 are the stages or the steps of communication process. The first step of communication process is ideation. It is the first step in the cycle of communication process. So ideation is the process where the sender thinks about what he has to deliver. So ideas, thoughts, feelings, opinions, knowledge, information that the sender wants to transfer or transmit to the others, this process is called as ideation. So sender is the source of the information. Sender is the origin of the information. Sender is the origin of the message. And sender can be any person. Sender can be a group of persons, or senders can be an individual or a single person. A sender can be government office. A sender can be in an institution, or he may or she may belong to any region, any religion, or he may deliver the message in any language. So ideation is the first phase, ideation is the first step of communication process, and from this the process of communication begins. So ideation refers to the thoughts and the feelings or the matter that the sender wanted to convey or transmit to the others. The process of communication starts with ideation. It starts with the sender, and the second stage or the second step of communication is the process of communication is encoding. So encoding refers to the process of translating the ideas, thoughts, or emotions, or the content that the sender wants to deliver or the sender wants to transmit to the others. So it is a translation of the thoughts, it is a translation of the ideas. So it is a process of reducing ideas into signals or symbols. So here the sender selects the appropriate words, appropriate means to transmit the information or transmit the message. So encoding is the process of sifting. Encoding is the process of sorting out the relevant information. So whatever the thoughts or the ideas are there in the mind of the sender or in ideas in his head, so he is not going to deliver each and every component or point of that idea. He is not going to provide it in detail, but he is going to select the appropriate message, appropriate content, and this process, that is why it is called as translation. This process is also called as process of sifting or the process of sorting. So sifting and translation process takes place here. So ideas, thoughts, or what he wants to contain or she wants to deliver, it is translated, it is sifted out, it is sorted out. So and then these ideas are translated by using appropriate signals, symbols, or the signs. The sender is going to convey his thoughts or feelings or ideas, opinions or information or knowledge to the others. Then the third step in communication process is channel. So ideation and encoding are related with the sender. These activities take place at the sender's part or the sender's ends. After the process of encoding, after the selection of appropriate message, after the selection of what he has to deliver, after sorting out a translation of ideas, here the sender selects the appropriate channel to deliver the message. So encoding is a message and channel is a mode or the medium through which he is going to deliver his message. So channel refers to the medium, channels refers to the mode through which the sender is going to transmit or transfer or the exchange his message. The selection of the channel depends upon the nature of the message. The selection of the channel depends upon the nature of the recipient. Selection of the channel depends upon the relationship between the sender and the receiver. So three factors are important here. First one is the nature of the message. What type of the message the sender wants to convey. On the basis of that message, the sender is going to select appropriate channel to deliver his content. Sometimes he is going to use his body language to convey the message. Sometimes he is going to present the message in oral form. Sometimes he is going to use other medias like television, internet or radio, newspapers. So it depends upon the nature of the message, what he wants to deliver and what type of message is there. After that, who is going to receive the message? What is his educational background? What is his cultural background? It is also essential to understand. It is also essential to deliver the content or the message. And the third important aspect is what type of relationship between the nature and what type of relationship between the sender and the receiver is there. Then sometimes it is also determined by the situation or the circumstances. So circumstances or the situation forces the sender to select the media to deliver the message. So circumstances or situation may be a serious discussion where he is not going to use media through which other people can overhear or listen his content. So nature of the message, situation, receiver's background, receiver's knowledge, in receiver's educational status, social background, culture, these things are also important in selection of the channel. So channel can be television, channel can be newspaper, channel can be oral or non-verbal communication, channel can be internet, it can be other modes through which the sender can send the message. After the channel, there is the process of decoding. So the process of decoding takes place at the receiver's ends. The process of encoding takes place at the sender's end, and the process of decoding takes place at the receiver's ends. So receiver is the recipient of the information or the message that has been transmitted to him by the sender. Sender is the source of the information. Sender is the origin of the information, and the receiver is the person who receives, or he is also called as addressee or the recipient of the information. Like a sender, receiver may be a single person or a group of persons. Receiver can be a government office or any institution. Receiver can be from any region. So receivers are the persons who receives the message that has been delivered by, exchanged by the sender. So process of decoding takes place at the receiver's ends. The message that has been delivered by the sender, the receiver tries to reinterpret the message. So here the process of retranslation takes place. In encoding, there is a process of translation. Ideas and thoughts are translated into signals and symbols. So whatever content is delivered by the sender, here receiver tries to understand the message, and that is why it is called as retranslation process. So ideas are retranslated and the sender tries to get to understand what is the intention of that message. So what thoughts have been presented through that message. So decoding is the process where ideas are retranslated or ideas are reinterpreted by the receiver. So next step in communication cycle or communication process is feedback. So this is the final step of communication process. The process of communication ends here. The message that has been delivered by the sender, if the receiver gives appropriate feedback to the message, the process of communication is going to stop here. If the sender's message is not responded according to his expectation, it means there will be the failure of communication. So once again the sender has to start the communication process. So feedback refers to the response, feedback refers to reaction, feedback refers to answer, feedback refers to reply given to the message by the sender. So feedback, if it is appropriate, if it is as per the expectations of the sender, then the process of communication ends here. If the sender does not receive appropriate or correct feedback, then he has to repeat the cycle of communication process. So feedback is the final stage, feedback is the final step, but it is important for the communication. So there are going to be certain things which are going to stand as a barrier in communication process, and because of this barrier sometimes the receiver is unable to give appropriate feedback. So these barriers can be noise, these barriers can be physical distance between the listener and the speaker, this barrier can be psychological in nature, these barriers can be status barrier. So these things are going to stop the communication process, and then in order to get the positive or correct response from the receiver, so sender has to once again repeat the cycle of communication process.